So witch hazel. The seeds of this tree are dispersed by shooting out of their pods as far as 30 feet. Its foliage and stems are browsed by deer. It is unusual because it flowers in the autumn. The leaves and twigs are a source of an astringent which is added to rubbing alcohol.
Okay, and mostly that's true. But there are several different kinds of different species of witch hazel that we have here. Some of them blossom in January. So it's kind of neat that you're out on a winter walk and you see blossoms. I always figured that this was either the first tree that God made or the last. I don't know which. Because it didn't do real well with it. The leaves are not symmetrical at all. He got better at that. The leaves, you can pick 10 leaves from this tree and they'll all be different. They're odd shape. It's just an unusual tree. But witch hazel is a great wildlife tree, particularly in certain stages of its life. And if you have an area like this where there's quite a bit of brush, a good practice it would be to to go at the bottom of this witch hazel, cut the whole clump right at the ground, the whole clump of witch hazel. It will sprout vigorously and straight, and that contributes significantly to woodcock habitat. They really like that. Once the trees get this size, it's no longer a factor for woodcock. And that is exciting to me to realize that, not only, trees may contribute, we tend to think about their fruit or some particular thing, but trees contribute significantly at different stages of their life in different ways. That this might be suitable as a young sprout clump for woodcock. It may very well become a nesting site for a rose-breasted grosbeak because they nest at this level. So different plants are going to produce different things as their life changes. And wildlife will respond to whatever habitat you favor. I don't know of any particularly rare animal in an area like this, but you can contribute to so many things. We've talked a little bit about reptiles and amphibians, but there's all kinds of things. If you have food for them, I wouldn't think that mink would be a big deal here, but you can bet that they're going to come through occasionally and feed at a vernal pool and enjoy a few frogs. They will. And you don't have to feel guilty about that. You only have to feel guilty if you used them for baseball.
Bruce, woodcock, not good for the height of the witch hazel, but lower in what respect?
Woodcock tend to like vertical shoots. Once the clump gets big enough that it starts spreading out or tipping over and rooting, they'll just find other areas. But it's interesting that when we're planting trees, often it might be in a field like this behind us. It's amazing how many woodcock nests I find when they're surrounded by this kind of habitat.
And what's the woodcock nest look like?
They're on the ground. You only see them because eventually the female can't stand it anymore and she'll leave. But the woodcock's eyes are very far back on its head, so when it's on the nest, it is observing everything very well. If your eyes are back further, count it as a blessing.